Disco nights, disco nights, disco nights, disco nights, disco nights, disco nights, disco nights. Those Sydney nights.
When I was a kid and I got asked what I wanted to be when I grew up, I always said brain surgeon, but secretly I longed to be an artist in some form or other. First I always thought I was going to be a movie star, and as no one put me in a movie, I went and put myself in my own movies, but yeah, I assiduously aimed towards being an artist from a very young age. I've been drawing since I was 5 years old, and drawing obsessively, compulsively, thousands, millions at school I used to fill all my textbooks with drawings, much to my teacher's ire. I left when I was 21 and I went around the world for 5 years, and then when I come back to Australia I figured the only city in Australia for me would be Sydney. Really, it's just the first city, the original city, the oldest city, the city that's the most happening, and the city that's got the best light. As an artist, painter, I always use that bullshit about the light. Good light in Sydney. I arrived, this is a story I tell all the time, that I got here New Year's Eve 1977 and AC/DC were playing for free down at the Haymarket, which at that point the Haymarket was gutted and empty, and the AC/DC set up on New Year's Eve and did a free concert, and I thought I was going to go somewhere else, but I crashed in the morning in Darlinghurst Squats and I never left Sydney. I mean, Sydney's got the weather that if you are poor here, you don't have to be too afraid to have to sleep out on the streets because it's not that cold. I mean, it's not as cold as Melbourne. So, you know, I found squats, first Darlinghurst squats at King's Cross, and then we discovered Pyrmont squats. They had about 20 empty houses down on Pyrmont Point. And in 1978 I moved over there and I stayed there for 12 years while I did all my stuff, like I did the Thief of Sydney there and a lot of posters and stuff. When I got moved from the squats in Pyrmont to here, we were offered an artist cooperative down there, but at the last minute the state, of course, as they always do, reneged on us and kicked us all out. But nearly all of us got offered housing department. And when they moved me to Northcote, and the infamous Northcote in Surrey Hills, I'm sure not only Sydney but maybe all Australia knows about Northcote. I was only here for 3 months and there was a massacre right out front of my door. 5 people were shot dead in their little flats across the way and just on the street there by this crazed punk who someone called him a doll bludger and he went nuts with a shotgun. Anyway, talk about from the pan to the fire. But I seem to need that kind of element actually to, I like, you know, as an artist I want my work to be punchy. I mean, you know, I'm not going to try and be the next Brett Whiteley or the next Ben Quilty. I mean, I'm just what I am, and Australia has its various extremes and I'm like down the other end of the shitty end of the stick. One day I was marching around Darlinghurst and I put some posters up that I'd made. I was running a science fiction festival in Stanley Palmer's hall, and an old guy walks up to me and looked at one of my posters, which was a drawing, and he said, "Wow, your drawing's okay, have you ever thought of animation?" He happened to be, his name was Eddie Vandermaden, and he built animation desks, and I went down his squat and checked out his desk, and I never, for the next 14 years anyway, I never stopped animating. You know, animation's a fantastic medium if you a painter and a drawer. He can make the paintings move and you can put music to it. An interesting thing for me was I signed that film over to a company in New York called Troma, and I thought I'd become a millionaire because they got videos in every video shop in the world, but sadly enough they never gave me any money. But what they did do was show that film absolutely everywhere. And for instance, I just got a letter from them the other day. I still owe them $59,777, which really annoys me. Like, I owe them after 21 years, but they've just shown it on cable television in Canada. And I mean, you know, it's amazing that in all these years that film has just shown everywhere, and I feel pleased that here I am virtually on Skid Row in Sydney, which is par for the course for most artists anyway. I mean, I've always lived this way, so it's not as if I can rue the loss of a wonderful, luxurious life, but I'm very happy that a bum like me, my artwork got out of a place called Down Under, Oz, and it got all around the world. It's pretty fantastic. I really have in fact, a phobia about fame whores, and I don't mind always promoting myself as punk. At one point earlier in my career, I called my production house Gutter Snipes. I glory in the fact of being a gutter snipe. I love the punk era, and I love being punk even to this day, and I'm not talking about retro and buying punk gear in a double bay boutique for $1,000 for designer ripped jeans. I mean, I'm talking about real punk, and real punk likes to shake up the status quo and have us all discussing what it is to be alive in the world today. I mean, we're not going to maybe change the world, but we sure like discussing what's going on. I mean, dialogue is everything. Dialogue and information. So anyway, it's great I'm 62 now, and it's been amazing. I mean, I've been beaten up by skinheads and been in car crashes, and I've caught cholera. I was in a motorbike accident that broke my leg badly. What else? I've been through it, you know, really, and I don't quite understand how I got here, because I'm from a 60s generation that really believed in the 60s. We weren't going to reach 30 years old, and you know, we all thought we were like Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin. Like them, we would drop off at 27, but strangely enough, through all the exigencies and dangers and furors and hurricanes, I've stayed alive, and I'm stunned, and I'm blissed out, and I'm totally fucking amazed.